Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video from Quick Freeze's Game. As you can tell from the title above, it's going to be my March 2012 pickups, and I got a good lot of games here, about 7 or 8 games, and I'll give you kind of like a brief synopsis for each one, if I like them or not, maybe show you some gameplay of each one. But before I do any of that, I go on to say I'm about to have almost 400 subscribers, and I'm very close to that. I think I'm about like 399, so I'm very close to 400 subscribers. And a lot of people do kind of like special videos when they reach a certain milestone. So I want to do something special for you guys for when I reach 400 subscribers. But I have no idea what I want. I have a few ideas what I want to do, but I'm asking you guys, what do you guys would like me to do for my 400 subscribers special? It could be whatever you want. It could be like a room tour, even though I did that for my 100. It could be another question answer thing. It could be a top 10. It could be top 5. It could be whatever you guys want. I'm leaving it up to you. And whatever I get, like for the most votes, say if I get like 10 votes for top 10, I'll do that. You know, if I get like, you get the idea. So I'm leaving it up to you guys. What do you guys want to see for my 400 subscriber video special? So, like I said, I'm just leaving it up to you, but before I start rambling on, let's get into the pickups, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, the first game I got here is a game that's very dear to me, very nostalgic to me, and that is Top Gear 3000 for the Super Nintendo. Now, I used to rent this game all the time when I was a kid. I used to spend weekends playing this. I think I spent a whole summer playing this game. It was just amazing. Now, the game itself, it's a arcade-style racing game set in the future in the year 2069, I believe. And actually, you race on different alien worlds. So you're going to race on like purple planets, blue planets, green planets, black planets, all these different alien worlds. But if you guys have played other Top Gear games in the series, it's basically the same premise. You race, you earn different credits, which is, money. And you use that money to buy different upgrades for your car, such as armor, boost, tires, gearboxes, etc. And you get different weapons in the game that you can use to improve yourself in the rankings. But it's, like I said, it's one of those games that I absolutely fell in love with when I was a kid. And I spent hours, weekends, summers playing this game. And it's one of those games where you can just sit down for hours and actually care about what upgrades you give your car. It's a lot of fun, and I recommend this to you guys if you guys are into the retro old school racing games. It's definitely one to check out. Okay, the next game I got here wasn't actually kind of like a pickup. I didn't buy it. I actually found it in my closet. I don't know how long it's been there, so I'm going to consider it as a pickup, and that is Ratchet Deadlock for the PlayStation 2. Now, since I had this thing in my closet, I'm pretty sure I played it at one point, but I can't really remember anything about it. So, I'm not going to give, kind of like a good opinion about this game. But, if you guys have played all the other Ratchet and Clank games, it's basically, the same premise. It's a 3D platformer game with, like, tons of weapons. I've heard nothing bad about the Ratchet and Clank series. So, I would think this game would be just as good as the other ones. Like I said, I have not played it, so I can't give my personal opinion about the game. But, yeah, it's very cool that I found this thing in my closet. It was a wonderful surprise. I'm like, oh, cool, this is badass. But, yeah, Ratchet Deadlock for the PlayStation 2. Like I said, I didn't play it, so I can't really recommend it. But based on what I heard from the series, it's not a bad series to get into. Okay, the next game I got here is for the PSP, and that is Platypus. And basically what this is a 2D shooter game, kind of like R-Type, if you guys ever played that on the TurboGrafx 16. It's basically just like that. The controls are very simple in the game. It's up, down, left, right on the D-pad, or in one shoot button. simple ass controls, you know, very simplistic. It's crazy, but the fun thing about it, it's addicting as all heck. You know, I'm just gonna say it's really fun. I popped this into my PSP and I couldn't put it down. It was just really fun, you know, like. And the greatest thing about this game, you guys won't believe this, the entire game is made from claymation. That's right, claymation. So it's just fun. When you see like the bullets hitting the different ships, you can actually see the clay splats and, you know, it actually does that sound effect. It's really cool. Like I said, the controls are very simplistic, but the game is really fun and addicting. And this was actually kind of like recommended to me by my friend Nostalgic Dan. And I actually got this on Amazon for about, I think like $7-8. So it's not a bad pickup, and it's one of my favorite games on the PlayStation Portable right now. So Platypus for the PSP, I say pick it up if you can find it really, really cheap, because it's really fun. Okay, the next 3 games I'm going to show you guys. I don't normally buy these. I'm not that type of gamer. I would not play these games normally. And I'll tell you right now, there's 3 sport games. And the sport games are MLB 2009 The Show, NBA 2K9, and Madden 2010. Now, the reason I bought these games, and you know, I buy sport games maybe once every 7 years. I think the last sport game I bought was in like 2001. So, like I said, I buy them like once every 7 years because basically the game doesn't play. You know, like what's going to change in the games? I could be wrong, but you know, basically the change is, you know, the player stats. You know, what team players are on. So I don't care about any of that. But I popped all these into my PlayStation 3, and I was, oh my god, I was absolutely blown away. You know, because like, especially NBA 2K9, they look like real television. Now, like I said, I'm not into sport games whatsoever, so when I'm saying that the graphics alone blew me away, I was like, whoa, this actually looks like I'm watching a football, basketball game, or a baseball game on TV. I was totally blown away with the graphics on all 3 of these games. So, but like I said, you know, I probably will not play these games at all. Like, how I will play them, but like not really all that much. Probably I'll play them in like one afternoon, and I'll probably put them on my shelf and never touch them again because I'm not a sports gamer. But you know, like I said, I pick up sport games once every 7 years, and these 3 pickups right here absolutely blew me away just with the graphics alone. So, do I recommend these ones? No, I don't recommend any sport games unless it's like an arcadey sports game like NBA Jam. So I cannot recommend these at all unless, you know, you really just want to get a cheap game. Go to GameStop right now. I paid $2 for each one of these games. So, yeah, I got those 3 games, Madden 2010, NBA 2K9, and MLB The Show 2009. Okay, the next game I got, however, I was really excited for, you guys, and that was Street Fighter Cross Tekken for the Xbox 360. Now, this game is amazing. If you guys have played Super Street Fighter 4, you kind of know what you're getting into. It is a little different from Street Fighter 4. Not all the mechanics are the same. There's a lot of new things they added, a lot of things they took out. But if you guys have played Street Fighter 4, you basically kind of get the premise of this game. Now, my favorite characters to play as is Ryu from the Street Fighter side and Julia from the Tekken side. And I must say, I'm absolutely falling in love with that team. Now, when the DLC characters come out, I'll play as Elena. I'm really excited for her. But for the game itself, it's, you know, it's spot on. The Xbox Live Online play, really good. There are some lags, which is kind of be expected, I guess, but I heard Capcom is fixing that. The characters are absolutely beautiful. They all look really cool. My favorite mode in the game right now is a mode called Scramble Battle. And if you guys have not heard of what Scramble Battle is, basically picture Street Fighter 4 with Smash Brothers. You have 4 players on the screen, and all 4 players are just shooting Hadouken, shooting Sonic Booms, you know, doing bear hugs, flips and stuff. It's crazy beyond belief. and it's absolutely one of my favorite modes in the entire game. Now, I have not really gone through the arcade mode all that much because story-wise, there's not really that much there, in my opinion. But, you know, just like Street Fighter 4 has all the other modes, like training, trials, missions, you know, online play, arcade mode, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, all of that's the same. But in my opinion, is this better than Street Fighter 4? No, I actually prefer Street Fighter 4, the arcade edition, a little bit more than this game. Just because there are a few changes in this game that I absolutely don't really like. But it's still a great game. I recommend you guys pick this up if you're into Street Fighter or Tekken, or if you're just into fighting games in general. So it's a really great game. Okay, the next game I got here is for the Xbox 360 also, and that is Mass Effect 3. Now, I'm a fan of Mass Effect. I'm not a huge fan like a lot of people are, but I do enjoy the games a lot. Now, I jumped into this game knowing, you know, you would have to save the Earth. You know, all of humanity is on the brink of destruction, you know, annihilation, stuff like that. And that's cool. I thought that was really cool that your main goal in the game is, you find out right at the beginning of the game, is you have to take back Earth. It's really cool. Now, I'll tell you guys honestly right now, I prefer Mass Effect 2 over this one. This one's still a great game. Don't get me wrong. This is still a great game, but I prefer Mass Effect 2 a little bit more, mainly because Mass Effect 2, you kind of like, you fell in love with the characters. You know, you understood them. You knew what they were about, what their history was. This one, not so much. Like, there are past characters in the game, especially if you transfer over your data from Mass Effect 1 and 2. But you just don't care about the characters in this one, really. You know, there's, top of my head, I think there's about 3 characters, new characters that I got on my team, but I absolutely just didn't care about. And, you know, I hardly used them whatsoever because they just seemed very uninteresting. Like I said, your main goal in the whole game is to take back Earth. So there's a lot of, like, dogfights in the game where you get waves and waves and waves and waves of enemies. Now, that's cool, but it does get kind of a little bit boring, but I do understand why they have that in this game, because, you know, you're at war. You're trying to gain resources to take back Earth, so I understand you're going to get attacked a lot. But, you know, that's basically all you really do, and, you know, that's fine for some people. It was fine for me. I don't have a problem with it, but it does get boring after some time. Now, the online multiplayer is actually kind of cool. If you guys ever played the Horde mode and maybe Gears of War, just like that. You have 10 different waves, and maybe like every so often you get waves with different objectives. So that's really cool. The only thing I didn't know about that is you have to play multiplayer to gain resources for the single player mode. I played the single player mode and I beat it, but I was always at 50% ready for the war effort. And I never understood why I couldn't get that number any higher. Well, you got to play the multiplayer to get that number higher. So the more you play multiplayer, the more you'll be ready for the single player mode. So that was kind of like a little discouraging. And but anyway, the multiplayer is still really cool. I still really enjoy this game. Now, like a lot of people kind of like hate the ending. Now, I'll tell you guys right now, I beat the game. I actually liked the ending. I didn't find anything wrong with the ending. I was very satisfied with it. I'm not going to tell you the ending for those who have not beaten the game, but I was satisfied with the ending. And if they come out with a new ending for Mass Effect 3 as DLC, I will not download it because, like I said, I was very satisfied with the ending to this game. And yeah, I was just happy. Do I recommend this game? Definitely. It's definitely one of those games you gotta play if you have a 360. And it's just a fantastic game, so highly recommend. Okay, the last game I got for you guys is for the Nintendo 3DS, and that is Kid Icarus Uprising. Now, this game is awesome. I'll tell you guys right now. The single player is simply amazing. It has 25 chapters in it, and the entire game is voice acted. That's right, no reading. You can read the text if you want, but the entire game is voice acted, and you know, they talk about a lot of stuff that you would not normally talk about, especially between the conversations of Pitt and Palatina. You know, she mentions, like, she can't see well because she has laser eye surgery. Well, like, why would a goddess need laser eye surgery? So a lot of conversations in this game are very funny, and I laugh out loud when I'm playing the game. Now, the 3D in the game really works. It actually works better on, because if you turn the 3D off, the pit and all the monsters, they kind of look a little jaded, a little sharp around the edges. So I recommend turning the 3D on when you're playing this game. The stand that comes with the game, it's a must use. Now, I'll tell you guys right now, I was playing this game without the stand, and it really hurt my hand. Like really bad. I was only able to play maybe about 15-20 minutes at a time. But once I started using the stand, I was actually able to play a little bit longer. My hands still kind of hurt a little bit, but it took longer for it to start hurting. So I do recommend you guys use the stand. It's a must use. Now, the main thing I absolutely love about this game is the unlockable kind of like achievements in the game. There's like a picture in the game where if you do certain things, you unlock different panels, and it reveals a picture. I'm going through the single player right now trying to uncover all that picture. So there's tons of replayability in this game. Now, with more replayability, there's tons of weapons in the game. So you're going to be playing the multiplayer, you're going to be playing the single player over and over and over again, trying to get different weapons in the game. And each weapon is totally different. You could have two of the same weapon, same name, same everything, but they'll have different attributes. So you definitely want to collect as many weapons as you can, so you can fuse them, you can disassemble them, you can make your own weapons. It's very cool. Now, the last thing in this game I want to talk about is the online multiplayer. It's fantastic. There's a mode in this thing called Light versus Dark where it's 3-on-3. And basically how it works is the entire team has a life bar, and if that life bar goes down to 0, the last person who died turns into pit or dark pit if you're on the the bad guy side, and that's the person you want to kill. Once someone turns into pit and that person dies, the game is over and that team loses. Now it's crazy fun, you guys. I spent long hours playing a lot of different YouTubers, just playing late at night. I think I went to bed at like 3 in the morning because I was playing this game so much. Now everything you unlock in the single player can transfer over on the online multiplayer and vice versa. So it's a lot of replayability, you guys. This is probably right. You know what? I'll happily say this is my favorite 3DS game as of this moment, and I could easily see it myself putting a lot of time into this game. So I highly recommend this game. Oh, the last thing I want to mention, you guys, is the AR cards. They work. They're actually okay. They're not as in-depth as I thought they were going to be. Basically, you scan them and you can get different hearts. And basically, they're just kind of like different collectibles in the game. Just like Smash Brothers. When you do certain things, you unlock different songs, different backgrounds, stuff like that. It's basically just like in this game. You get the different AR cards and they unlock these things called idols. So they're kind of like just these little trinkets that you can kind of look up. Different music in the game you unlock. So they're really cool. So the AR portion of the game, not really that excited for. I do want to collect all the AR cards. I think they're really cool. But I think where the game really shines is the online multiplayer and the single player solo campaign. So highly recommend, if you guys have a 3DS, pick it up. Okay, the last thing I want to show you guys is not a game per se, but I did pick it up and I thought it was really cool. And this is the Assassin's Creed 3, kind of like a pre-order tin for the game. You get this when you reserve the game at GameStop. And it's beautiful. I walked in and this is... Look at the art on the front of this thing. It looks very... It just looks very cool. And... you throw $5 down and you get this. So, I just had to pick this good thing up. It just looks really cool. So yeah, I got the Assassin's Creed 3 tin pre-order thing for the game. But that's it. That's all my pickups for the month of 2012. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you guys watching. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm about to hit 400 subscribers, so I would really like you guys to kind of like give me, tell me what you want to see on the 400 video special. It could be whatever you guys want, like I already said. It could be a top 10, it could be a room tour, it could be a question-answer thing. anything you guys want. You know, I'm letting you guys decide what you guys want to see for my 400 video special. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. And I'm just going to end by saying I'm Quick Freeze from Quick Freeze's Game Room, and I'm here to bring gamers together one game at a time. Later, guys.